There is no way that you're going to tell me I'm going to work my whole life. I'm going to sit behind a fucking desk and work 9 to 5 each day of my life until retirement. There is no way that is what life is about. I will not be put in that box. I'm sorry. I just realized a little bit extra. Ooh. Little boogie. I want to have fun. Like, I actually want to have fun, and I don't understand why this is the norm and we're putting up with this. I know half of us are not putting up with it, but I feel like we're putting up with it too much. It's time to take a stand. I don't know how we would take a stand. I'm so red because I'm stressed. This is why I travel, because I'm like, you know what? I'm going to work, and then would I lock myself into a job for the rest of my life? I genuinely need to see the world and experience life. And I'm young, and I'm lucky that I have that privilege of not having too many responsibilities, not having rats running around, you know what I mean? But like, Jesus Christ, it's gonna make me cry. And I love you all. And if you're working and you're struggling and you deserve love and light and peace, bye.
This TikTok is for Gen X and Gen X alone. If you are not Gen X, go ahead and scroll.
Sometimes when I look at what is going on in our society nowadays, I question myself. Gen Z is lazy. This is a new trend like you're seeing here on TikTok. But that is not our focus on this clip. According to this article, Baltimore City is facing a devastating reality as the latest round of state test scores are released. Project Baltimore analyzed the result and found a shocking number of Baltimore City schools. They realized not a single student can solve mathematics. They all had 0. What is going on? We all know what is happening in our schools. Nobody is ready to talk about that. I see this as an important topic to discuss. Let me play the video. But before I do, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please endeavor to do that. If possible, why not share this clip?
Baltimore City is facing a devastating reality as the latest round of state test scores are released.
Our Project Baltimore team analyzed the results, and as Chris Papps reports, there's a shocking number of city schools where not a single student is doing math at grade level.
I see the brightness of Baltimore kids.
It's now been more than a year.
We're not living up to our potential.
Since Giovanni Patterson made national headlines by suing Baltimore City schools for failing to properly educate generations of students.
We, the taxpayer, are funding our own demise.
Patterson was born here. He has seen the failures firsthand. But what Project Baltimore just told him at first rendered him speechless.
My immediate reaction is take your kids out of these schools.
The Maryland State Department of Education has released the 2022 state test results, known as MCAP, Maryland Comprehensive Assessment Program. Baltimore City's math scores were the lowest in the state. Just 7% of 3rd through 8th graders tested proficient in math. That means 93% could not do math at grade level. But that's not all we found. Project Baltimore combed through scores at all 150 city schools where the state math test was given. We found in 23 Baltimore City schools, there were 0 students who tested proficient in math. Not a single student.
Is this why you filed your lawsuit, because of outcomes like this?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It just sounds like these schools now have turned into essentially babysitters with no accountability. This is the future of our city. We got to change this.
Among the list of 23 schools, here's how the numbers break down. 10 of them are high schools. 8 are elementary schools. 3 are middle high schools. And 2 are elementary middle schools. Exactly 2,000 students in total took the state math test at these schools, and not one could do math at grade level.
These kids can't do math. You're not preparing them to buy groceries. You're not preparing them to do accounting, to count their own money. you're not preparing them to read contracts and negotiate salaries.
We made the largest investment in public education by any governor in our state's history.
Governor Wes Moore, last week, in his first State of the State address, made his feelings about public education clear. It's one of his top priorities.
We can no longer separate our vision for economic prosperity from the duty to make Maryland's public schools the best in the nation.
After his State of the State address, Project Baltimore reached out to Moore's office, asking to speak with him about his plan to improve education. Before becoming governor, Moore lived in Baltimore. We wanted to ask him how he plans to help city students, especially those who attend these 23 schools. Governor Moore's office did not respond, but city schools did send us a statement with steps it's taking to improve math scores, including professional development for teachers, summer learning, and an extended learning period at the end of the day. The statement said, "We're confident these instructional strategies will help us regain the momentum and progress we experienced before the pandemic."
0%. What are you preparing these kids for? Are we expecting these themselves? I mean, we see the number of teen shootings happening just this year. What jobs are we preparing these kids for? That's the future.
Within the state testing data, we found 3 additional Baltimore City schools with 0 students proficient in math. One is a school for incarcerated youth. The other 2 are for students with disabilities. We did not.
This is a clear example of these woke doctrines we have been talking about on this channel. Not a single student can solve mathematics. They all had 0. What is the significance of that? What comes to your brain immediately when you see this result? They are not given the right doctrine. They are focusing on topics that are not even related to the curriculum. They employ teachers to teach mathematics, science, but they will focus in class to indoctrinate children on gender identity. We have seen a lot of these TikTok teachers surfacing like never before. Somebody just waked up, they misgendered me. When I'm in class, I discuss this with my student. I like to be called this. Is that what you were being employed to do? That is a question a lot of parents are not asking. Care need to be taken. Look deep into what is happening. I have exposed a lot of videos on this channel. By now, it should awaken, a lot of people. Not only me. I have seen a lot of YouTube channels doing similar things. That is our focus. We bring this to create an awareness. This is a school in Baltimore. They conducted this and realized all students had 0 in mathematics. And they are even asking questions. What is happening? And they should go back and try to look into who is even teaching mathematics in this area. Woke doctrine is causing more harm to the society than we realize. It is high time we see this.